When you spend your days at home or the office, it's easy to forget we share this land with all manner of four-legged, winged, and hoofed beasts. It's when you take vacations or go hiking and engage in other fun activities that you get to meet these animals. While some animal encounters are amazingly beautiful, some are scary. From meeting angry rhinos to humiliated leopards, here are 12 scary animal encounters you won't believe happened. Number 12. Angry rhino bull charge cars. How dangerous can a rhino be? Well, this group of tourists was 1 second away from finding out if their driver hadn't sped off before the rhino could charge. The tourists were exploring the Kruger National Park in their tourist vehicles when they encountered a family of rhinos. The rhinos were very angry and irritated when they saw the tourists. They probably felt threatened by the tourist presence, and the fact that they had a calf with them worsened things. I mean, we all know how wild animals are protective when it comes to their young ones, and rhinos aren't an exception. The mother rhino was about to attack the tourists, but the driver wasn't going to let that happen. We're happy they got to escape, otherwise the encounter would have turned out pretty bad. Number 11. Grizzly bear charge. Grizzlies are no doubt one of the scariest creatures that you could face in the wilderness. 2 guys were mountain biking in Jasper, Alberta, when they encountered a grizzly bear whose plan was nothing but to make them its dinner. Upon noticing the bear, one of them rode down the hill to get as far away as possible. Unfortunately, the other guy had no time to escape and was subsequently charged by the mother bear. To help his friend, the guy had to distract the bear, but the bear wasn't planning on letting them off so easily. He was about to charge again when the guy took the bear head-on and braced himself. It stopped approximately 10 meters from him, just outside the spray's effective range. Giving up, it went away, leaving them unharmed. That was a close one, don't you think? Number 10. Hippo chasing boat. Would you believe us if we told you that hippos are the second deadliest animal on the planet? Even by looking at them, you know that these animals mean business. I mean, look at their jaws. Those jaws will have you in seconds. Check out how these guys were chased by not 1, but 2 female hippos at Lake Naivasha in Kenya. As the boat rider explains to them how dangerous hippos are while passing by them, one hippo gets territorial and swims towards them ready to attack. They manage to escape only to find another hippo chasing their boat. Good thing their guardian angel wasn't asleep, otherwise it wouldn't have been a laughing matter. They definitely should be on the luckiest people's list. I mean, these guys just diced with death and won. How lucky is that? Number 9. Angry elephant charges safari guide. If you're on a safari guide and you see the driver stopping and reversing, then just know whatever happens next is between you and your God. These tourists and tour guides get to experience the most nerve-wracking encounter with elephants in the heart of South Africa near the Kruger National Park. The tension builds up when one elephant crosses right in front of them and the driver decides to reverse the car. Since they're experienced guides, they probably knew that more elephants were coming that way and were trying to get as far away as they could. Lots of elephant trumpets are heard as they reverse. They finally come to a stop, not knowing that where they had stopped, an angry elephant was coming their way. The elephant charges, and we get to see how the brave guide scares him away and then asks him what's wrong with him. We all need this kind of courage in front of animals, don't you think? We can all agree that he did an excellent job to cope with these unusual circumstances. Most of us would have wet our pants. Isn't it funny how animals can make us feel so small, yet we were the ones made in charge of them? I mean, they're supposed to fear us, not the other way around. Number 8. Moray eel attacks diver. Who said you can't have a scary encounter with the oceans and seas? These divers were busy exploring and taking videos of the fish when an encounter with the moray eel became a warning from the eels to stay away from their territory. The eel took a bite of his arm, but the diver released his arm before serious damage was made to it. The diver is lucky the eel didn't take a huge chunk off in one bite. Number 7. Lion takes a bite out of a car. This is scary and weirdly interesting at the same time. It's not every day you get to see a lion biting a car. Is it that the lion was hungry and thought this car was something he could have a bite on, or was he just being cheeky? We leave that to the lion. I hope it left his insurance details because explaining the situation to your insurance sounds crazy. Putting the incident aside, seeing that lion next to a car puts his size right into perspective, right? Most of us have seen lions next to their mates and thus never considered how big it is, as this is the only teenage lion. Number 6. Film crew attacked by a leopard. The next time you watch and laugh at a humiliated leopard, be sure to be watching it from your TV, and if not, then run for your life. This film crew learned it the hard way. On a mission to track down wild dogs for their next episode, the crew witnessed the dogs winding up a leopard. The dogs were far too quick-witted to be caught by the big cat. Noting that the dogs were onto him, it took refuge in the tree. While on its refuge spot, its focus changes and he notices the crew. How it suddenly jumps from the tree and charges towards them is terrifying. If it were not for one of them to instantly think of throwing his hat to the leopard, they would have all gotten a free ticket to their creator. That gave them time for the driver to clamber back to the front of the vehicle and drive off unharmed. Scary, right? Number 5. Cassowary at Cape Tribulation. What would you do if you encountered the most dangerous bird? Well, trust me, some things are better not thought of. While enjoying their stroll at Cape Tribulation in North Australia, these friends encountered a cassowary taking a stroll. It started following one of them, scaring him with each step it took towards him. It's brave how he didn't run for his life during the first encounter, making us admire his composure. He manages to walk away without it seeming like he's trying to escape. Some of us can't imagine ourselves in such a horrific situation. Number 4. Elephant stops passing trucks to take bundles of sugarcane. If you thought animals aren't wise, this clip will convince you otherwise. It captures the moment when the sweet-toothed elephant stopped passing trucks so he could take a trunk full of sugarcane. It seems that the elephant deliberately knows the delivery route and what the trucks are carrying, as she goes truck by truck to see if they have what she wants. In Indonesia, Thailand, and India, it's claimed to be normal to see elephants steal sugarcane and bananas from villages, tents, and even at the back of the lorries. I bet that's why the truck drivers are calm. The elephant happily takes the bundle of sugarcane she needs and finally lets the drivers pass. How sweet. Pun intended. There's hope in humanity after all. Number 3. Close call with a great white shark. If you thought yourself lucky, then this young man will make you feel you're not lucky enough. This man was out with his friends, busy having the time of his life, when he jumped off a cliff into the sea expecting to have a great dip when he saw a great white shark just below him. Even with all the noise he was making underwater and coming face to face with the great white shark, the shark didn't notice him. Lucky for him, the shark just wasn't hungry at that time, or maybe it was just curious as to what almost hit him as it came crashing down from the sky. Whatever the case, this guy was very grateful and swam to safety. This shows how unsafe jumping off a cliff into the sea is. You never know. Tomorrow it might be a 6-foot crocodile or megalodon waiting for you, and you might not be as lucky as this guy. Number 2. Giant squid attacks surfboard. We swing continents to Africa to take a look at this video of a scary giant squid encounter at Cape Town, South Africa, that will take you on a roller coaster of emotions. 3 surfers were paddleboarding when they found a giant squid floating. At first, they didn't know what it was until they got closer and found out it was an injured giant squid. as they tried to help it out by lowering a rope to help it. The squid decided to hitch a much more comfortable ride and wrap its tentacles around the boat. As the guy tries to be stable and avoid the squid's tentacles, the waves come and he falls into the ocean as the squid gets a firmer hold on the boat. They later manage to take it ashore, where it takes its last breath. Tragic. Number 1. An overly confident zookeeper. Crocodiles aren't only one of the largest animals, but also one of the most dangerous animals in the world. With this in mind, it's pretty obvious that some stunts aren't to be pulled when handling them, no matter who you are. This horrific footage shows the moment the zookeeper was performing at one of Thailand's famed crocodile shows, showing off his skills for a small group of people on the tourist island of Koh Samui. As surprised as we all are, we kind of expected something like this to happen. I mean, who in his right mind plays with a crocodile? Until next time, adios.